has been in the industry for 10 years already. He started working in the BPO back in 2005 and have never been away from it since. So he considers outsourcing and freelancing to be a great equalizer when it comes to work, where skills and output matters the most. So since starting working from home, he never considers anything else than after. So everyone, let us all welcome Mr. Mel.
Hello.
Woo!
Do I need the camera?
Sige, on mo na, dali.
Wait lang. Wait lang.
Na-excite
May
I
technical...
think yung naka-share screen ka pa rin, Coach Maya.
I am sorry. I'll stop it now.
Okay. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
I can't. I must be blind.
Ako rin, hindi ko makita.
I can
Naka-on
see
na.
you.
Okay. Wait lang. Actually, I'm still figuring out how to share my PowerPoint.
On mo muna yung, i-run mo muna yung, I mean, i-share screen mo muna and then, tsaka mo i-run si PowerPoint.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay, can you guys see my screen now?
Medyo blank pa siya.
Ayun, yes.
Yep.
You can see it on my end.
You can see it
po.
na?
Yes po.
Yan. How
Yes.
nice naman. Sige.
Okay na? It's good?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll just... All good na? Okay na?
Yes.
Okay. So to start, I'm calling this the essential work from home hardware starter pack kasi ito yung one of the most common things na tinatanong pag mag-work from home. Ano ba yung mga kailangan ko? Usually, ang pumapasok sa isip ng mga karamihan sa atin is baka ang mahal, baka I need to shell out a lot of money bago ako maka-start mag-work from home. So hindi po totoo 'yon. Dapat ang pinaka kailangan lang natin Okay. The things that we absolutely must have pag magsa-start tayo mag-work from home is number 1, computer. Number 2, internet connectivity. Tapos ang communications gear, yung gagamitin natin para makapag-usap sa kliyente. Tapos sa mga trainers, tapos sa mga seminars na attendan ninyo. Tapos, syempre, a quiet place to do your work. Then, wait lang. Another question na tinatanong sa atin ng mga newbies is, wait lang ha. Sorry, ang anak ko ang ingay, wait. Sorry, excited na naman sa Roblox niya. Okay, moving on. So, eto kasi, your line of work will dictate your hardware requirements. So, pag writing lang tayo, pag magsusulat lang tayo, halos pwede kahit a cellphone lang, pwede na. Because you can write on a piece of paper and then just upload it. Pero pag dumating na tayo sa mga VA work, doon na magsisimulang maging taxable siya maging taxing siya sa equipment. For example, if you are a VA, ang pinakaunang tools dyan, kahit Google, pag magbukas ka ng multiple tabs, ang mangyayari sa PC mo is ma-overwhelm niya yung memory ng PC mo. So, may chance na pag nagbukas ka ng kahit 5 tabs, pag ang memory mo ay 4 gig lang, malamang mag-freeze na yung PC mo, and then you lose kung sino man yung kausap mo, lalo na pag may calls ka on the other line, pag may calls ang trabaho mo. So pag VA work, kailangan medyo mas malakas din ang PC mo. So ang pinaka ano diyan is, let me just get to the next slide. Oops, wait. Previews. Sorry. Ayan. So ang next na tinatanong is, ano bang kailangan? Laptop or desktop? So, tingnan natin yung mga advantages ng laptop. So, punta tayo sa laptop. So, ang laptop is, una, portable. So, pwede mo siyang dalhin kahit saan. So, ang webcam nun, tsaka ang microphone built-in na. Minsan, ang ibang laptop na mga bago, may Bluetooth na siya. Tapos, ang dali lang i-set up. So, pwede siyang pumunta ka sa dining table ninyo, doon ka mag-work. But, ang cons naman sa laptop is that it's expensive. Hindi siya ganun kalakas. Kahit napakamahal na niya, hindi pa rin siya kasing lakas ng desktop. Tapos, pangatlo, as a con, is there's no user serviceable parts inside. Hindi mo siya pwedeng kuting-tingin. Hindi mo siya pwedeng buksan kasi masyadong maliliit ang parts. So, parang kailangan talaga, pag nasira yung laptop, kailangan mo siyang dalhin sa specialist. Hindi pwedeng yung mga sa tabi-tabi lang. So, that's one. And then, a laptop is also very useful pag wala kang permanenteng area sa bahay nyo na if you're gonna work everywhere. So, kasi ang mga Pilipino baga is coming from experience, wala masyadong boundaries sa space. So, kahit nagtatrabaho, magtatakbo yung mga anak, hindi masyadong So, a laptop, you can, pag maingay na dun sa area mo, pwede mo nang buhatin, ilagay mo sa ibang lugar. So, that's one advantage of a laptop. Kaya lang, laptops are generally more expensive than desktop systems kasi nga, kailangan nilang palitin yung mga spare parts, di ba? So, pag imbis na ilagay nila sa software, gagastusan pa nila yung research and development para mapaliit yung laptop. So, kaya mahal ang mga laptops. Also the repairs. So, concerning the price, ang isang decenteng laptop na pwede nang gamitin natin sa light work for writing, you can have a laptop for 15 to 20K. Pero itong mga 15 to 20K na ito, these are the used price. So, pag brand new ang bibilhin mo na laptop, ang 15 to 20K mo is mahihina lang yung specs niyan. So, if you're really looking to work on a more permanent basis, hindi lang dahil quarantine, hindi lang dahil may lockdown, pero kung gugustuhin mo talagang mag-focus sa work from home, you will need to slowly invest for a laptop na medyo kaya niya yung mga mabibigat na tasks. Because if you start on a path of being a VA, doon ka rin naman papunta. And that's also the part of working from home, is that you invest on your own materials in exchange for staying with your family. So, ayan, for the laptop. Ang desktop naman, sa desktop, pagdating sa work from home, we can consider the desktop to be the king of work from home equipment because number one, it's easier to maintain. Halos lahat ng parts ng desktop pwede mong pagpalit-palitin. You can use second hand, you can use brand new, you can combine them together. Then more affordable, just to give you an idea, for example, ang laptop na 50,000 pesos ang price, Pag yan kinonvert mo yung 50 pesos into a 50,000, sorry, into a desktop, masyadong malakas ang desktop na 50,000 ang price. So meaning mas ano siya, mas advantageous siya with the price to performance ratio kung kumbaga ang pag-uusapan. So desktops are also more powerful. And then, ito lang ang problema sa desktop is that it needs more space. It's more or less permanent. Pag sinet up mo siya, hindi mo siya pwedeng bagu-baguhin, hindi mo siya pwedeng ilipat sa ano. It'll take like the whole day pag ano yan, pag kailangan mong ipalit. Now, sa specs naman, these are also one of the more super debatable lagi sa mga forums. Ano ba yung specs na kailangan? Wag na wag po kayong magtatanong, don't ever ask yung mga nasa tindahan kasi talagang sasabihin yan ay hindi yan pwede even if pwede. So these are the three, ito lang ang three na kailangan yung i-consider when buying a computer. Number one, itong Intel i3 4th generation above. This is the processor. Number two, ang RAM ninyo should be a minimum of 8 gig. And then, it has to have a solid state drive sa system drive niya. So, I know this is kind of technical, lalo na sa mga hindi pa marurunong, but eventually matututunan ninyo. And then, when you go to a store, sasabihin nyo lang, ang kailangan ko is itong tatlo. So, pag bumaba dyan, huwag nyo nang kunin. Pag bumaba dyan sa 8 gig RAM, huwag nyo nang kunin. Because these three are the parts. Kaya ayoko na magpunta sa details because these three are the parts that will affect how a computer will do its task. Kung mabilis siya o mabagal. Itong tatlo lang na to ang magmamatter. So hindi mo kailangan ng fancy na keyboard, hindi mo kailangan ng fancy na headphone, but these three only. So pag maghahanap kayo ng gagamitin, itong tatlo lang ang kailangan yung isaalang-alang as the bare minimum na kailangan yung gawin sa. And just to give you an idea, itong Intel i3 na 4th generation is a bit old. Kaya mura na lang ito ngayon. But this is still super useful sa work, sa trabaho. Just to give you a bird's eye view, Intel i3 4th generation, ngayon nasa 10th generation na ang Intel. So that's way behind. Pero napakagaling pa niyang gamitin sa work from home. It can pretty much handle anything. So the next slide, microphone. Miss Maya is using this, a condenser microphone. I'm using one too kasi pag matagal na yung calls, lalo na nung time na puro pa ako voice calls, pag ginamit mo tas may salamin ka, naiipit yung arms nung salamin, ang sakit sa mata sa pag matagal na. So, balip for me, based on my experience, that's the most na makikita ko na advantage ng isang condenser microphone. It's away from your face. Pag may meeting kayo, you can, and then plus points pa siya sa meeting kasi pretty much everyone, pag may client ka, are using condenser microphones. Tapos, if hindi naman sa nag-diminish ang value mo, but it kind of looks like a professional pag naka-condenser microphone ka. Plus, mas mahal pa nga yung mga like I mentioned kanina, mas mahal pa yung mga noise cancelling headsets sa kanya. However, one problem with condenser microphones is that they are really very sensitive. So kailangan tahimik talaga yung lugar mo. Meron kang area in your house where it's quiet na hindi basta-basta makakapasok yung ingay. You can set it up to be quiet. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube all over the internet kung paano mo mapapaquiet yung workstation mo. Also, aside from the condenser microphone, we also have noise cancelling headphones. So I have here some examples like Plantronics, Logitech, and Jabra. but these are, I only put this here because these are the brands that I actually used. And among them talaga Plantronics ang I can swear by na talagang kahit siguro next door magtilaok yung manok, hindi talaga maririnig. Plus, gamitan mo pa siya ng mga noise cancellation software, i-install mo siya. And then, boom, tahimik na yung ano mo. Because sometimes talaga hindi maiwasan yung background noise, lalo na pag calls yung trabaho nyo. And you will encounter that pag may calls kayo. So, ang pinakamaganda naman sa noise cancelling is that talagang yung microphone niya is like right in your mouth lang talaga. So, it's gonna be very clear. Super clear siya. And that's it for microphones. And the next slide would be, ayan, sa work area natin. Ang work area can be different for any individual. So merong tao na meron akong, like for example, my partner right now in the house, she can work anywhere. Like she can work while cooking, she can work while attending to our son having his online classes. Wala siyang paki. So she can focus. So iba-iba siya sa taos. So meaning pick anywhere in your home that you are comfortable with. So it's different strokes for different folks. So find one that works for you. Also, if you have kids, talk to your kids. Sabihan nyo sila na, hey, I need to work. So isama nyo sila sa work ninyo na para sila mismo ang magsasaway kung may mga maiingay. And then, ito, importante, separate your workspace from your bed or couch. So kaya dito sinasabi lagi, kahit tumingin ka sa ibang mga online sources, your workspace should have at least nakatalikod ka sa bed mo. Kasi pag nagtatrabaho ka tapos natatanaw mo yung unan, natatanaw mo yung couch, natatanaw mo yung TV, parang it creates a distraction subconsciously. Kahit subconscious lang. So, make sure na pag magtatrabaho ka, hindi mo nakikita yung unan, hindi mo nakikita yung bed, para hindi rin natitempt yung katawan ninyo na, ay, sarap matulog, lalo na pag maulan. So,
Good ano yan, Mel. Good tip yan.
yeah. Kasi nga, I've been working at home for so long, talagang kailangan mo talaga siyang i-separate. So, another thing is, I know napakahirap gawin ito. Keep it clutter-free. Yung mismong work area mo, kahit yung mismong work area mo lang. Kasi, totoo ito, pag sobrang cluttered ng workspace mo, you're writing your article and then you look at your space, parang yung jumble ng space mo, it translates to your mind. Pati yung utak mo, jumbled na rin kasi ang nakikita mo puro lang. Kahit itabi mo lang muna pag magtatrabaho ka. So, that's it. And then, importante to, a comfortable chair. So, it doesn't have to be a super expensive na tig 20 mil na ergonomic chair. But find one that's comfortable but not too comfortable. So, ibig sabihin, wag naman yung recliner yung upuan nyo. Kasi, again, baka sa sobrang relax, hindi ka na makakonsentrate, baka makatulog ka na. So, find a comfortable one, yung preferably yung ka-level lang nung mata mo, yung screen ng monitor, para parang naka-sit up straight ka lang. So, that way, your mind will be triggered now. I'm at work, hindi ko kailangan magpahinga. So, I'm at work muna. Tapos, i-decorate mo yung place mo. Put stuff there that will make you happy. If plantito ka or plantita, put plants in there. Kung ano yung
LED,
mga...
RGB light, no, Mel?
pag RGB lights, pag gusto mo nung mga tigish yung mga
Si Rona, gustong-gusto niya yan. Marami siyang lights and all.
I know Rona's preference, mga mga essential oils. So, whatever puts you in the mood, whatever makes you happy, because when you're happy, parang alam mo yun, everything else comes clicking into place, lalo na sa trabaho. Kahit sobrang masungit ang boss mo, okay lang. pag maayos yung paligid. What else? Taking care of your equipment. So laptop, ito heat. Napakainit ng mga computer. Heat is the number one killer of electronics. So kailangan, may mga built-in naman yan na mga fans sa loob yung laptop. So for laptops, medyo tricky kasi dapat ang laptop is supposedly pwede mong dalhin kahit saan, di ba? But there are things na hindi mo sa kanya dapat ginagawa. For example, huwag mo siya ilalagay sa unan. A lot of people are guilty of this because they put it sa lap nila sa unan, not knowing na itong cloth naso-suffocate niya yung vents ng laptop. Hindi na makasirculate ng maayos yung hangin. So, it heats up the processor. Pag uminit kasi yung processor, it's either babagal yung laptop mo or totally shut down. So for laptops, kasi nga, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi mo siya basta-bastang pwedeng buksan. Like, once a year, dalhin mo sa technician, palinisan mo. That's it. Siguro 500 pesos. Kasi wala naman sira, papalinisan mo lang. For desktops, it's a different story. Kasi pwede mong buksan. Makikita mo yung laman. So here, you can see an example of a computer that has not been cleaned probably for 100 years. Ganyan ang magiging itsura. Pag ang computer mo ganyan ang itsura sa loob, probably the fans are not even working. It's gonna become hot and cost you your work for that day or maybe for a long time pag hindi mo inaasikaso. So ganun lang yun. Give love to your equipment para tumagal sila and then in turn, you can make more money. Also, one more thing sa laptops. If possible, bumili kayo ng separate na keyboard and mouse para sa kanya. Huwag yung tipa lang ng tipa kayo doon kasi sensitive yon. Minsan baka masabuyan pa ninyo ng tubig yon, masira yung keyboard. So keep them on a stand. You can buy one. Put them on a stand, buy a separate keyboard and mouse. Yung keyboard and mouse, doon kayo magwala pag nagagalit na kayo. Wag yung mismong laptop. Kasi sa ilalim nun are the components themselves na pag nainis ka, ginanon mo yung laptop, patay tayo dyan. So, actually for me, parang yun ang isa sa pinaka-simpleng bagay. Kasi keyboard tsaka mouse, meron ka mabibili, 100 pesos each. And it will add years to your laptop. So, yun lang. Sa desktop naman, huwag nyo siyang ilalagay sa sahig. Don't put them on the floor. Kung pwede, i-mount nyo sa wall, basta naka-elevate lang siya para maiwasan yung sobrang daming pumapasok na alikabok. Or if possible, buy filters for the fans para yung pumapasok na hangin sa kanya, hindi what do you call this? Madumi. Or kung marunong na kayo, i-water cool nyo yung PC nyo. That might be too much, but most people do that. What else? Ayan. If you guys have, yun lang ang yun lang ang may share ko based on my experience on setting up your work area if you're going to start working from home. So, as my parting words, working from home is not as easy as some people claim it to be. So, meron talagang initial na investment because if you want to make money, you have to spend a little bit of money. Tapos, rock solid na discipline. Because wala ka ng boss na tatapik sa'yo. Nasabihin na, uy, magtrabaho ka na. It's you. You are your own boss. So, another thing is find that sweet spot to make your brain realize that it's time to go to work. So, pwedeng maligo kayo once a week, wear nice clothes, mag-makeup, or kung ano pa man. So, iba-iba kada tao. So, hanapin nyo na lang yung makakapag-trigger sa inyo so that when you wake up or wake up in the morning or at night, whatever the case may be, ma-signal yung brain ninyo na, oh, it's time for me to work, and then I'm gonna work. And then sit down and then do it. All right. Sorry, that's it for me.
Okay, so tandaan po natin yung pinaka-importante na tip ni Mel, maligo po, maligo.
Yeah, once a week lang.
Maligo once a week. Wear nice clothes. Parang hindi talaga pwede yung
Kailangan po yan paliligo talaga. Lalo na po pag marami na po kayong contracts, medyo magkakaroon na po tayo ng problema dyan sa paliligo.
Totoo, kasi pag pagod ka na, kailangan ng tinatawag ka na ng mga unan, wala na.
Oo. Guilty kami dyan, guilty. Coach Jessa, we can proceed again.
Yes.
I'll turn off my
Before
camera.
we
Teka, tanong muna natin, meron pa bang question kay, kay Sir Mel?
You can just message your questions to Miss Maya or to any coach, and then they can relay it to me.
May tinatanong sila, marami silang tanong sa headset eh. Puro headset yung nila yata, yung tanong nila kagabi.
Oh, headset.
Akin. So, pang entry level, ano talaga yung pinaka-best na somehow may noise cancellation na rin for you?
Yung yung MPOW.
Can you share a link to us?
Kasi yung pinakamaganda pag noise cancellation headset, dapat may sarili siyang sound card. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya yung jack na 3.5 mm. Dapat USB. So ikakabit mo na lang siya sa USB, magsasarili na yung computer mo, it's gonna default to that. So may sarili siyang sound card. Hindi na dependent dun sa jacks ng computer mo. USB lang talaga siya. So ganun
mas preferable siya.
Mas preferable siya kasi mas madaling ma-recognize ng Skype. Tapos ang dami kasi ang software kasi bihira lang kasi yung Skype gamitin ng mga kliyente. May mga sarili yan minsan eh. May mga sarili sila kalimitan, may mga sarili silang VoIP na software na ginagamit. So tapos proprietary yan. Kaya malalaman mo lang yan pag nandun ka na, pag natanggap ka na. Kaya hindi ko rin masasabi kung ano yung mga software na pwede mong kasi depende yan sa kliyente na makukuha mo kung ano yung mga kailangan nila.
Bali, they are asking yata for a start pa lang, wala pang client. I mean, yung kunwari, makikinig ng video tutorials, yan, magjo-join sa mga ganitong webinar.
Pag yun nga, yung MPOW or any USB na pag makakita ka sa I'll send you guys a couple of links. Titingin ako dito.
Siguro mga 1,000 pesos or less, ganun.
Ganun yung budget, Yeah. Tapos saka na lang mag-invest sa medyo mas magandang
pag kumikita na.
Pag kumikita na. Yun na lang Merong mga kahit less than, I've seen some na 800 pesos, something like that. Ganyan.
May nakita rin ako kagabi. I forgot the
Ito nga, itong microphone, it's 700 pesos. Tapos 500 yung phantom power, ganun. 1,200.
Ito rin pala sinare ni Joff. MPOW nga rin, wired computer headset. Tapos ano ba yung sinare ko kagabi?
Ito na, coach, gamit ko na ngayon.
Ayan, gamit mo. Maganda. Maganda, Joff.
Yung sound po ba, ano po yung dating? Yung audio po galing sa inyo, maganda rin yung sound eh.
Talaga? Ito pala, Flexstone pala yung sinare ko, 899 pesos. Tapos wireless na siya.
Wireless siya na Bluetooth or 2.4?
Bluetooth.
Kasi pag Bluetooth, kung halimbawa desktop, kailangan mo pa siyang bilan ng separate na USB dongle na Bluetooth para magkaroon ng Bluetooth.
So mas compatible sa laptops,
Sa laptop, sa desktops na walang mga Bluetooth, yung 2.4 GHz, yung parang may maliit na dongle na ilalagay mo sa
mura lang yung dongle na nabili ko eh. 100 pesos
mura lang yung mga dongle.
Oo. Ginagamit ko sa speaker kasi gusto ko pag nag-work from home yung lumalagabog yung room ko. Sa sound.
So
Di ba?
yan ang iyong preference, ano, yan yung
Tanggal
panggising.
antok. Number 1 effective siya, pantanggal
Iba,
antok.
iba-iba talaga, iba-iba.
Oo, nakakaantok kasi minsan lalo na 'pag articles na susulat kang ganyan. Maya-maya, tatawag ka na ng kama.
Ako. Okay. So,
May questions pa kayo sa devices? Parang Annabelle is typing daw.
Tapos yun, wag kayong magtatanong sa mga salesman sa tindahan. Talagang bebentahan kayo ng napakarami. Sabihin niyan, ay, di yan pwede. Ay, di yan pwede. Nako.
Pag nagsalita pa naman sila parang they know it all, no?
Ay, nako.
20 years of freelance experience.
Grabe.
So parang wala ng questions, Mel.
Okay. So I'll sign off.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you. Ang
Alright.
dami
You're
namin
welcome.
natutunan.
And I guess we will proceed to introducing Miss Rana, our next guest speaker. So before we will have her on the floor, so I'm gonna introduce her. Miss Rana earned her communication arts degree from the University of the Philippines in Mindanao, where she also taught under the same program for 7 years. She started writing in 2002, but she only focused in online content writing as a profession in 2019. So currently, she is a full-time writer at Stellar Freelancers. So,
Yay!
hi, Miss Rana.
Hello. Hello.
Good
So, good
afternoon.
afternoon, everyone. So, yeah, as they said, my name is Rana, and today I'll be sharing to you some tips on how to start freelancing as a copywriter. So, by the way, some people would say like, hindi, pagsusulat lang yan, parang hindi ka kumikita dyan, sabi ganun. Pero, let me tell you, yes, writing is a real job, and you can earn 6 digit by being a copywriter. So, sa mga walang
Sisingit
experience,
lang ako.
yes,
Sisingit
ma'am.
lang
Yes.
ako, Rona.
Yes.
Si Rona po ang highest paying writer, highest paid writer
Ay.
sa Stellar Freelancers.
Alam namin yan.
so, so yun. I think yung copywriting, if you take it seriously, then if you commit to it, so you could earn serious money then. So, para sa mga naysayers na it's not get a real job, apply sa corporate world. So, sabihin nyo sa kanila, yes, I could earn double or triple your income in the corporate world by writing at home. So, yeah, what I'll be sharing to you this afternoon is about my experience. So, how I started as an online copywriter. So, just a quick recap. Alam ko you already know what copywriting is, but to share to those na hindi nila alam, so copywriting is different from content writing in general in a sense that ang focus mo sa copywriting is to sell. It could be a product, it could also be an idea, or it could be a subscription of your prospective client. So, dapat siya kasi you're selling, it should be positive. So, it's a no-no to say negative when you write a copy. So, as you can see here is a persuasive marketing, writing persuasive marketing and promotional materials to motivate people to take some form of action such as making a purchase, clicking on a link, donating to a cause, or schedule a consultation. So that's what separates copywriting from general content writing. So let me show you some examples of copies. The output of a copywriter, you call that a copy. So yan. The purpose again is to sell. So nakita nyo naman, 15% less adorable than actual. Ganon. So eto, when you see this, di ba automatically, you feel good or you feel something positive towards the product. So basically that's the work of the copywriter. Yan. So when you see this, Trello is a free, flexible and visual way of free. Parang catchy siya. So You dig deeper, you learn more about the product, and eventually later on, because of what they wrote, what the copywriter wrote, na na-persuade ka to make a purchase or make a subscription. Yun siya. Then, so how do you start as a copywriter? So it's simple. You have to have two sets of skills. So first, we have the hard skills. Ano itong hard skills? So basically, these are the skills that you can learn from books or you can learn from trainings. Like kung copywriter, so ang training mo dyan is how to become a copywriting courses. So what are the hard skills? First is ability to research. So since 'di ba, you'll be working for a client. So you don't know the product of the client yet. So to be able to write effectively about dun sa ibebenta mo, you have to research. So you know the salient features of the product, know paano mo siya ibenta. So any information, any positive information about the product, you research on that. And next is differentiate essential facts from unnecessary info. Sometimes kasi when we learn so much about something or when we research so much, parang ma-overwhelm tayo sa information and then we end up yung parang kung sa Bisaya, saksak sinagol. You mix everything and you don't care if they match. Parang I just want to showcase that I know this, that I've read this, something like that. So as a copywriter, you have to know when to stop. So pick up the essential facts and then yung mga hindi na kailangan sabihin, just leave it. Huwag mo na siyang isali. Okay? So next, you also have to have the writing skill. So sabi nila sabi some say na yung writing skills, so you're either born with it or wala ka talagang writing skills. But I tell you, it could be that you're born with the writing skills, but you could also learn this skill. So in copywriting, you don't have to use yung mga highfalutin words or yung mga jargon sa sinasabi nila because you're talking to people. You're selling your products to people. So dapat people could easily understand you. So not necessarily yung parang supercalifragilistic mga ganun ng mga words. You don't have to use that. The simpler the word, the easier for other people to understand.
May gumagamit ba ng Rona? Sorry.
So, parang, yun lang, parang, yun lang, parang, maybe to express yung parang super happy siya. So, she uses that word. So, it's not advisable. So,
parang parang you're saying na yung mga sobrang deep na English
sobrang
din
deep
naman
words
ganun.
na, yung intention natin pag mag-copyright is not to boast or not to brag na I'm this knowledgeable. So that's not our intention there. We want to sell the product. So we can sell it by using simple sentences or simple words. And yung mga jargons, leave it at home. So unless you're talking to like doctors or you're talking to lawyers or yung engineers na meron silang jargon na ginagamit, you could use that. But if you're talking to lay people or yung general yung audience mo, refrain from using jargon. So again, so if we go back to writing skills, is it nature or nurture? Both. You can learn it and it could be that you're born with it. So don't worry kung feeling mo hindi ka pa magaling magsulat, so you could always learn that. Okay? And then ability to persuade. Yan. This is very important na hard skills when you're copywriting. You persuade kasi 'di ba? You're trying to sell. So paano mo sila mafo-force to buy if you don't know how to persuade? And you persuade through words. Ito yung mahirap kasi walang gestures walang tone of voice, walang high and low na parang animated para ma-capture mo yung attention nila. So you really have to play with words. And it doesn't have to be hard and difficult words. Yung simple na may oomph, yung sabi nilang may oomph, yung parang may impact. So, yan. Learn also to write candid, yung short lang pero yung candid tapos short tapos may impact. Yun. Then, of course, mastery of the English language. So again, not necessarily like pro level. Make sure lang na your subject and verb agree, yung mga tenses mo, yung spelling mo are correct. And then, meron naman tayong tools. We have Grammarly, and then yung Zoho na mga app to help you. But without relying on that, bank on your skills then. So pwede for a start, if you're not confident with your writing skills, okay lang naman na yung simple lang muna. But again, if you want to make it big in this industry or in this niche, you really have to capitalize on yourself. So you have to learn more. Parang upgrade ba? Kasi sabi nga ni John Maxwell daw, if you exert, if you want excellent result, if you want good result, dapat yung effort mo is excellent. Kasi, kumbaga, kung ang result mo na gusto is 100%, dapat yung effort mo a notch higher than that. So, this is also applicable here sa copywriting, yung skills upgrade. So, if you want to parang gawin mo talaga siyang long-term na career, so you have to aggressively invest aggressively on yourself. That's why you have to take courses, yung mga paid trainings, never, parang iba kasi parang nasasayangan sila that they have to pay for trainings or courses. Sabi nila, I can read about that sa internet. But iba kasi yung meron talagang experience na nagtuturo sa inyo kasi you learn the trade of, yung palang trade secrets, yun ba? Yung mga ganon. So, yan. So, those are the hard skills identified naman dyan sa slide. And next, let's move to the soft skills na needed. Ito, it doesn't necessarily na malilearn mo from the books. This is about your personality. So kung wala ka nito, you can still cultivate. You can try cultivating these skills. First is yung negotiation skills. This is very necessary kasi sometimes we accept global offers. Yung parang 100-word piso. Parang okay lang naman if you're starting na medyo mababa yung rate, pero wag naman yung super like 100 pesos. Sobra naman yan, di ba? So, let's try to work on our negotiation skills then para we could peg a higher price for our services. So, yun. Next is communication skills. Of course, this is very important kasi before when you're still applying, di ba, you'll have to write your resume. You'll have to send your application and then may interview pa. So, very important. And then while you're on the job na, kasi 'di ba we're working remotely. Kung hindi ka mag-update sa client mo, you don't maintain an open communication line kasi nga introvert ka. So, parang it's difficult to stay on the job kasi parang nag-wonder ang client mo, saan na ba yung writer ko? Diba? Missing in action na. So you also have to have that communication skills. And then responsibility. This is something hard to teach, no, yung responsibility because this is something personal. So as a copywriter, yung responsibility mo is first, 'di ba, when you're given an assignment, you have to read the assignment brief. Alamin mo kung ano yung requirements sa assignment, ano yung instruction, intindihin mo yun. That's your responsibility. Yung way of writing, yung tone na prescribed ng client, you have to know that. And then, when submitting assignment, you have to also commit. Na halimbawa, yung deadline, mamaya, it's your responsibility to hand it on or before the deadline. So, and meron namang instances na wherein you really cannot commit to the deadline. Like, I'm also guilty of this one. Coach Maya is aware of that. But in case you cannot submit within the deadline, you negotiate. You set proper expectation. Like, sabihin mo, hi ma'am, I couldn't, something came up, then I couldn't submit this. Can you give me an extension? But make sure then that if you're asking for an extension, you can really submit it doon na sa time na hindi mo. And then next, we have empathy. So as a writer, syempre, di ba, you're not talking to robots. They're not gonna purchase your product, mga tao pa rin. So you have to understand what does your reader need? Ano yung kailangan nila? What makes them tick? 'Di ba? Parang when you're writing kasi for you to capture attention, dapat yung parang pag magbabasa sila, what's in it for me? Bakit ko to babasahin? Anong makukuha ko? What's in it for me? That's always the question when it comes to readers, 'di ba? So, as a writer, kung empathetic ka, you understand what they need and you understand kung paano mo i-curate yung content mo to make them feel na this is important for them. This is essential for them. So, yun. And then, last soft skill is ability to work under pressure. Kasi pag dumami yung clients mo, ang writing kasi, it's not something mechanical or parang mechanical na task na pwede mo lang isulat na hindi ka nag-iisip. 'Diba? You have to think about the content. So sometimes may mga days talaga, yung mga low days mo na ayaw mo magsulat, hindi ka motivated magsulat. So kasi motivation is fleeting. Dapat you have to have that discipline. So don't aim for motivation, don't aim to be motivated, aim to be disciplined. So para kahit na swamp ka, you can still work, you can still deliver. And then kasi pag discipline ka din, yung skill mo to work under pressure parang nag-i-improve. So yun siya. So hard skills and soft skills. If you still don't have all of this, don't worry. Again, it can be nurtured, it can be cultivated, it can be learned. Okay, so yun. So since we're done with the skills, now let's move to the meat of the matter. So I'm gonna give you tips based on my experience. So just to set a proper expectation. So yon, sige, meron ka, gusto mo na mag-start ng career sa copywriting and you feel like you have the skills, you have the soft skills and the hard skills. Now let's move to um, so what do you call this? Looking for that job or getting that job. So the first may three phases tayo. First phase is preparation and job hunt. So earlier, na-discuss yung portfolio tsaka yung resume. So first, you have to prepare a resume. Before ako, I'm very guilty of this one. When I graduated, my resume was like 8 pages long. So it served the purpose why nag-apply ako sa corporate world. But when I tried transitioning into freelancing, parang why I'm not getting answers? Why I'm not getting answers? So, yun, I learned na dapat yung resume mo, 1 page lang. If you can make it as short as possible na parang at a glance makita lahat, the better. So kasi yung clients, they don't have the time of the day, yung parang to read everything. So if you can make it short and candid, that's better. Okay, so ready your writing portfolio. So ito, writing portfolio, kasi sometimes yung as nag-start ka pa lang, wala kang, 'di ba na-discuss kanina ni Coach Maya kung paano mag-prepare ng anong portfolio. For specifically for writers, kung halimbawa hindi ka pa nakapagsulat for a client before, so you could use like may nabasa ko na nag-share sa off or nakalimutan ko. Basta isang Facebook group na sabi niya if you don't have writing portfolio, pwede kang mag-apply or pwede kang work for somebody na kailangan ng services mo and then you tell him that in exchange for this, I'll be using this output as my writing portfolio. Or pwede din, sorry, pwede din you could write a blog, mag-maintain ka ng blog para ibigay mo na lang yung link the moment that you apply for work. And then before sa akin, what happened is I submitted my articles in article directories. I'm not sure if meron pa bang mga article directories na yun, but before I submit different articles to article directories and then the moment that I apply, I just posted the links of those posted articles or published articles para the client could gauge my writing skills.
Bigay ka ng example, Rona, ng article directories.
Yung e-zine. Yes, I think meron pang e-zine ngayon.
Meron pa.
Goarticles.com. Goarticles.com, that's also, nakalimutan ko yung name ng isa, but you can submit yung e-zine tsaka Go Articles. Yung e-zine, medyo strict sila. Yung Go Articles, the moment na pinost mo siya, approve na siya agad. But e-zines medyo strict yung kanilang publishing process. But then again, if you get it published, that's a good credential, ha? That's a good writing portfolio. Example of a writing portfolio. And pwede din yung mga past work mo na hindi paid or like for example, nagsulat ka lang or yung mga I'm not sure if this is a good practice, but before I tried yung hindi siya paid na test article, i-watermark, but watermark mo siya and then also inform the company na gamitin mo siya as writing portfolio, as part of your writing portfolio. Yun.
Pero
Then,
as much as possible, nire-recommend ko na magpabayad kayo sa test articles ninyo kasi nag-effort
yes.
kayo doon and then syempre Puwede naman kayong mag-agree yung sa discounted price, pero mas okay talaga na meron kayong payment sa test articles.
Yes. That's I agree to that. I agree to that. And then so we're done with the writing portfolio. Next is know where to look for opportunities. So sa akin before, I started looking for opportunities sa Upwork before Odesk pa siya. So long ago. So there I look for opportunities I was able to find on. Pero ngayon parang mahirap na approve ng profile sa Upwork, but still you can try. Then ito, essays.ph. I also tried writing for them. Although super mura talaga yung rate nila, but it's a good practice for those na still starting. Then, Craigslist, meron din. But be careful. Na-scam ako dito before, like 20,000 worth yata ng writing project. But marami din kasi legit talaga. So, again, since this is freelance work, you have to apply at your own risk. So, you have to be diligent, to research kung legit ba siya or ganon. So, yun. Online jobs.ph, Facebook groups. I found the posting of Coach Maya sa isang Facebook group and I applied there. So, yeah, here I am, hired sa Stellar Freelancers. So, yun, you could also explore this if you want to start writing. Okay?
Nag 1 year ka na 'no, Rona? 1 year pa
Oo,
lang
nung
ba?
December 27, 1 year.
Wow, congrats.
Yes. So, parang pag naka-start ka na magsulat, yung you have your own time, tas hindi ka, kasi dati nagtuturo ako online, tas parang iba talaga siya, hindi siya exhausting kasi you can work at your own pace. So, I suggest kung gusto niyo talaga, kung if you're still thinking twice kung writing is a good career ba, yeah, yes, I will tell you na maganda siyang career. And next, so since we're done with the first phase, move tayo sa second phase. Yun na. So after you handed in your application, tapos meron ng reply yung prospective client mo, yung sunod niyan, remember talaga, test article talaga yan. Kasi most of the time, wala namang interview. They want to gauge how well you can write. So the best way to do that is of course test articles. They don't, although iba kasi, yung iba, nagpapasubmit ng portfolio pero nagtitest pa rin. Because pwede naman kasi doktorin. Yung iba, meron kasi, di ba, just to prevent that, may test articles, just to really know kung paano ka mag-work on certain topics. Yun. So, how to prepare for test articles? First, get to know the company. So, know kung ano yung product nila, how they write or they publish their stories. Dapat alamin mo yan para when you write, may idea ka. Meron kasing iba na, like for example, it's a digital marketing company that you're applying, that job posting for that company. Tapos, sanay ka sa pagsulat, first person point of view, ganon. Pero kasi most of the time, if you're writing for those companies, they don't accept yung mga yung first person point of view. It's always you or parang nakakasulat nga ako before, bawal yung we. Dapat you lang. You lang talaga. Walang ibang, bawal ang I and we, then you lang. Ganun. So, dapat you should know those details para at least aware ka when you take the test articles. And ito, finish the test and submit it as quickly as you can. Kasi kung may job posting for writers, expected na yan na yung nag-a-apply are good and seasoned writers. Yun na talagang ilagay mo sa utak mo para hindi ka mag-fall behind sa competition. Expect that they're really good writers. So, kung kayo lahat magagaling kayo magsulat, what's your leverage? Ano yung edge mo? So, if you could submit the test as fast as you can, without sacrificing, of course, without sacrificing quality, then aim for that. Okay? So it would turn out good. Ay, yung parang maganda yung outcome pag yan, you follow that tip. Tapos, ulitin ko lang, never sacrifice quality. So, kung hindi mo talaga siya magawa ng fast, make it stellar, of sterling quality. Yung premium quality talaga para makabawi ka naman dun sa matagal mo siya na-submit. Pero again, I'll repeat, if you could finish it fast without sacrificing quality, aim for that. Okay? Then ito, reply to your prospective client's email or messages promptly. Di ba, nakita mo na, tas ayaw mo lang replyan, di ba? Kasi it shows to them that you're not that interested sa trabaho. So, during the application process lang, magpabibo ka na, you apply, you reply to their message, you answer the exam promptly. Okay, so magandang impression yan. Then show them that you really want the job. Okay, so yon, that's the second phase. So now
Add ko
we're done
lang
with,
yung sa
yes,
ano,
ma'am.
Rona. Add ko
Yes.
lang yung sa test article, hindi pa natin na-mention kanina. Kung gusto talaga nila ng free na ano na test article, dapat ano lang hanggang 200 words or 300 words lang ibibigay nating free. Tapos yung the rest na dapat. Pagka kunwari sinabi nila, I need you to write 1,000 word test article, pabayaran na natin kasi masyado na
Madugo.
siyang mahaba.
Madugo na yan.
Oo,
Madugo na
parang
yan.
ano na, abuso na ganun.
Gusto na. Oo, so yun. Yan. So, take note of that tip as well. Okay? Limit lang is 200 words kung free, but more than that or beyond that, it should be paid. Okay? Yan. So now, phase 1, phase 2 done, but half of the battle is done pa lang yan. We have the third phase. You got the job, but diba kung freelancer ka kasi, if you slack off, or kahit naman kasi 'di ba sa corporate world, if you slack off, parang wala na, kanang feeling mo lang talaga parang okay na ako, secure na ako dito. So there's really a possibility that you will be replaced. So make it a habit na excellent always yung output mo para kahit 'di ba sabi nila wala kasing security of tenure sa freelancing. But you see, if you parang invest in your craft, ang wag kang lazy dyan. So, you can always land projects. Hindi ka talaga mawawalan. Basta yun, wag ka lang magpabaya, di ba? So, yan. So, how do you ace the job? Tips lang ito. When you're writing, kasi minsan talaga, pag nagsusulat tayo, lalo pa yung topic, hindi tayo familiar. So, sometimes, you really have to, most of the time pala, you should research muna. So, and then when you write, start with the end in mind. Anong meaning ng start with the end in mind? Ano yung goal mo when you write? What's the point that you're driving at? Ano yung gusto mong maisip ng readers mo after they read the article? Kasi if you start with the end in mind, everything in your article magkaka-structure na siya. Parang conclusion then, ma-weave mo ang every part of it. So again, research, that's really essential, basic talaga yan. Ito, yung prepare an outline. For me, this works, yung outline na RM. I learned this from Toastmaster, yung how do you answer na parang may structure siya. Simple lang. Answer, reason, example, and message. Ito yung parang pwede mo siyang gawing guide kasi pag ganito. Tapos fill in ka lang ng details in between. So usually in copywriting, the question is always, why should we buy from you? So example, yung CRM yung product nyo. Answer, we're the best when it comes to CRM. So ito yung big idea mo. So how do you develop that? Why are you the best when it comes to CRM? So ito, flexibility and features, ito yung reason to fit any team style. So pwede kang mag-fill in ng details dyan. Example, paano mo nasabi na flexible siya and it could fit the style of any team? So yan. You can manage your team's task at a glance. Again, mag-supply, mag-substantiate ka. And then your final message. Ito yung parang pang-capture talaga yung ano yung talagang gusto mong gawin nila. Start planning today. Sign up and join over 1 million teams worldwide who are using blank to get more done. Okay, so simple lang yan ha, answer, reason, example, message. Pwede na siyang mental guide, kahit huwag niyong isulat. Pero for a start, siguro kung hindi ka pa used na mag-plan or mag-outline, you can start sa paper, outline ka. So yun, pwede mong gamitin yung RM. Yung prep point, reason, example point, let's reserve that for another time kasi medyo complicated yung prep. Yung RM lang muna. Answer, reason, example, message. Then, again, sa copywriting, it's important you capture the audience attention. So how do you do that? Start with a bang. Huwag yung bang na literal na word sa bang at start sa sentence. Yung start with a startling statement. Yung parang, huh? Parang sabihin mo, for example, ano po example ng start with a bang? Basta, yung start with a bang. Start with the starting statement. Yung something na hindi pa nila alam. It could be a trivia, or it could be like a fact that you just recently discovered na hindi pa na-discover ng iba. So that could be a starting statement. Okay? And then, develop the idea you're selling. Yan, substantiate. Huwag kang magsulat man dyan ng general statement, parang, our product is very good. O ano, why can you say that your product is very good? So you develop the idea you're selling or develop mo, mag-substantiate ka. Okay? Substantiate to persuade, to move them to buy your product. Add anecdotes. Yung anecdotes, yung story, like it could be a personal story, it could be a story of a famous person, something like that. Okay, like yan. Meron akong sinulat before, like a few days ago lang. It's about abuses in a nursing home. So I added anecdotes like sabi doon kasi yung product na sinisell is the services of a lawyer. So I added an anecdote na retired US military official, yung mother niya died because of nursing home neglect. So yun, by simply adding that story, you can convince people, that there's an urgency to what you're selling or what you're talking about. Okay? Then, okay, last na. So, be candid in your explanation. Again, I'm still guilty about of this, no? Yung parang super haba ng sentence, may however, tas hindi ka naman lang nag-period. So again, na-learn ko from Coach Maya is to limit the paragraph into 3 sentences, shorten them, and para mas madali siyang intindihin, and then mas madali siyang basahin. Okay? So, yun. So again, answer this, what's in it for them? So anong makukuha ng client or ng customer when they purchase from you or when they read your copy? Okay? So establish urgency, why now? Why do we have to subscribe to your services now? Why do we have to buy your product now? Okay, so dapat makita to sa sinusulat mo. Parang ikaw yan ba, nagbabasa ka, tas hindi mo siya kailangan. Before you read the copy, hindi mo siya kailangan. Pero after you read it, parang, uy, tama, no? Parang, I feel like I need this. Okay? Parang ganon. And then, add a strong and powerful call to action. So, ano yung call to action? That's the last part of your copy or your article, and this is ano yung gusto mong gawin nila. Okay, so kanina we have an example here. Start planning today, sign up and join over blah blah blah. That's an example of a call to action. Okay, again, and again, tie loose ends. Yung minsan kasi pag it's our write up is too long, parang it's easy to get lost in your web of thoughts. Okay? So sa end, if you're trying to explain difficult concepts, make sure that at the end of the article, parang na-untangle mo yung mga difficult concept. Para naman pag tapos nilang basahin, they're less confused. Kasi mahirap yung pag-start nila, hindi nila alam, pero pag natapos nila, they're so confused. Ang dami nilang alam, pero what's the point? Parang ganon. So, you have to tie loose ends at the end of your piece. Okay? Para maging may impact siya at meron siyang positive na result after. Okay. So yun. So those are some tips and I hope you learned something from my presentation. So thank you so much for your time. Any questions?
Thank you, Rona.
Yep. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Miss Rona.
Thank you.
Anyone? Baka may tanong kayo?
Any question?
Mukhang may tanong si Lara.
Sige, go.
Sa sobrang ganda ng explanation ni Rona, mukhang naging interested sila sa copywriting.
Sana may na-convince na mag-copywriting.
Kasi ang maganda
ako na-convince.
Ay, grabe naman yung experience mo. Ilang years na yan. Hindi na kailangan i-convince yan.
And ang maganda kasi sa copywriting, di ba? Hindi mo muna kailangan mag-aral ng software like Adobe Photoshop or mga similar software. Pag marunong ka lang mag-research and mag-type, pwede ka na mag-start, di ba?
Yes.
These are generally very short lang, no? 200, 300, 500 words nga madami na mahaba na.
Nung nag-start ako, actually, meron kaming ina-applyan na website na ng mga kasabayan ko. 250 words na yung sample. Kino-convince ako nung pinipilit akong i-convince, actually hindi siya Pinoy, na when you think of it, yung 250 words daw ay mahikli lang pala at madali lang gawin. So nung tinry ko, oo nga no, parang kulang nga yung 250 words. So hindi siya ganun kaano talaga. Hindi siya ganun kahirap paramihin yung words. Parang sa isip mo lang, pag 200 words parang mahaba, pero pag ginagawa mo na siya, mabilis lang siya.
Yeah.
Yung struggle lang din kasi sa copywriting is, yung for example, for me, parang sanay ako magsulat ng mataas, yung para ma-explain talaga. Pero pag copywriting kasi, you have to be choosy with your words. You have to pick words na parang short siya, pero yun yung may impact. Tsaka may
Yeah.
meaning. So, yun yung
Okay.
ang
Tas,
difference.
Oo, karamihan dapat. Sige, Mel.
no, go ahead.
Go ahead,
For
Mel.
okay.
Ikaw na lang kaya.
For copywriting kasi parang iba yung rates nun, 'di ba? You can like one copywriting project is as a whole, hindi siya per word. Pwede mong bayaran, pwedeng i-negotiate mo siya as something like that. So I'll do copywriting for this product and this is my rate. Hindi na siya per word. Iba kasi ang copywriting talaga.
Meron ka bang suggestion, Mel, na pricing para dyan?
Wala kasi I haven't done it, but I know copywriting is charged differently. Iba siya sa iba siya sa
Ako
yung
naman,
standard
what I do
article.
is para parehas na lang, para para hindi lang nakakalito, ganun.
Pag siguro super experienced ka na tapos super yung established ka na doon sa niche mo, sa area mo, maybe you can, pag ganun siguro, pag super advanced na yung learning mo.
Okay, may question para sa'yo si Adi, Rona. As a beginner na nag-a-apply via Upwork or other platforms, how to convince client to shortlist you when you don't have any experience in copywriting?
Sa akin, siguro in your application, you have to be honest na you don't have experience in copywriting but you're willing to learn. And then also, siguro pwede mo rin ilagay na you're currently taking courses like this para you could get, or you could be a credible copywriter. And I'm not sure pero yun sa akin ha. When I applied and I didn't have the experience, I really said, I was clear na I still haven't tried copywriting before, but I'm willing to learn. And then I've also researching or taking courses na that would help me improve as a copywriter. Yun
Mm.
ganun.
Tsaka importante na mag-add tayo ng samples natin kasi
Oo.
doon nila mag-gauge yung kung talaga meron ka nung skills or talent na hinahanap nila. Doon sa copywriting course natin, meron tayong mga projects doon na pwede natin gamitin as a portfolio pag nag-apply na.
Yep.
Okay, so mukhang yun na yung question. Meron anyone else? Ito type si Amy. Pwede po kayo magsalita. Pwede rin po through
Yung
mic. May question for you si Amy, Rona. Sa copywriting po ba similar to the call to action sa mga YouTube ads?
Depende kasi yan, yung call to action lang kasi, ang main purpose niyan is to convince them to to purchase or buy now. So, yung sa mga YouTube ads, I think it's very short. Ano yun? I mean, yung video ads or yung mga makiklik
Yun
lang na mga
yata
ads.
ang mga sinasabi yata nilang YouTube ads, yung mga nagpa-pop up pagka mag-start tayo,
Ah,
i-skip natin.
ay,
Baka yun. Oo.
I
Yung mga
think,
gustong-gusto nating i-skip.
I think the same lang siya. Kasi same lang naman yung purpose nila is to force you to buy something or to subscribe to something. So yung call to action is very similar. But how you phrase it, kasi yung YouTube ads, I think it's very short. So you really have to shorten your call to action then.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear
Yes,
me po?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Kasi nasa ano ko ngayon, currently, I have a full-time job.
Mm-mm.
And I'm working specifically sa YouTube.
Oh, okay. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So, ang ginagawa kasi namin is we are parang providing support to the account managers. What we do is yung mga YouTube ad na nakikita natin from the masthead to yung mga pumapasok na mga ini-skip natin, those are exactly the ones na pinaprocess namin.
Oh, okay.
Oo. Now, kasi may mga, syempre, since I have visibility sa mga ganon, we do see yung mga nilalagay nila like things na parang short, minsan parang more or less parang mga 100 text na ano,
Very
na
short.
medyo that will make you interested dun sa mismong sa ad, and then maybe if it piques your interest, i-click mo siya because and you want to know more about it, parang ganon. Is it similar po ba when it comes to copywriting?
Oh, yes. I think yeah, it's very similar. Yung difference nila is yung length. Kasi I also write before I was able to write like yung mga copies na 500 words. Yung end talaga, yung call to action is very same yung format pero medyo longer lang than yung sa ads kasi number of characters yung binibilang. Pag the shorter, so but again, ang purpose nila is the same lang. Yung length lang ang difference.
Okay po. Okay po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. I hope I answered your question well.
Yeah. Kasi ang tawag nila doon is copy eh. Pag nagsasubmit sila ng creative sa amin.
Oo.
And then they tell us na, okay, here's the copy. So nandun na siya yung meron kaming CTA, meron kaming description nung video. So aside dun sa description ng uploaded video nila sa mismong YouTube, meron silang nakalagay doon na depende, they can edit whatever it is na gusto nilang ilagay doon, and then yung CTA, yung call to action. So sabi ko parang medyo maiikli yun, though they call it copy. So I'm thinking, is it the same po?
Oh yeah, I think in principle it's the same kasi yung purpose nila is alike. Yun nga lang sa length lang kasi you can't post naman very lengthy na ads, 'di ba? So it's different it's different kung magsusulat ka for a website kasi medyo mahaba, may space sila for that na umaabot like 200 minsan nga 300 words. So pwede din mahaba yung kanilang call to action.
Yung ano kasi copy is a general term, general term siya. So pag yung general rule pagka for promotion siya, tawag sa kanya copy. Then pagka more on giving information, article ang tawag or content.
I see. Okay po.
So marami talagang matatawag na copies. Pag nag-work tayo as copywriter, marami tayong ma-encounter na iba't iba yung types niya, iba-iba rin yung services and kung ano yung in-offer nila, pero copy pa rin yung tawag kasi for marketing purposes.
Any output ng copywriter, they call it copy. So
So depende na lang kung sa haba or sa ikli ng kailangan.
Kung ad ba siya or
depende sa paggagamitan, yung purpose niya. So Coach Jessa, may tanong dito si Adi, kung na-cover ba natin to yung how to start up po sana sa mga aspiring Amazon VA na hindi pa marunong and wala pang experience?
Hi, how to start?
Actually, yung ginawa kong poll dun sa group chat ng mga Amazon VAs, ang request talaga nila is Amazon yung gawin nating topic today. Kaya lang kasi I figured na last webinar natin, more on Amazon VA na tayo. So, inano ko muna.
Yung first webinar natin, Adi, if you have joined the last webinar, so it's the...
Hindi pa siya enrolled that time.
Okay. So, pero now, enrolled na ba siya?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be part of the first batch, so don't worry. You can review naman the video, nasa group siya,
nasa YouTube channel natin.
Nasa YouTube din siya. So, you can access it anytime. And when it comes to the one that we've discussed back then was how to apply. So parang how to start up. Parang partly part na siya ng how to start up, how you can score a parang like makuha mo yung ni client. Pero of course, through our Amazon course, there you will be able to parang ma-expand mo pa lang ma-expand mo pa rin mo yung yung possibilities na makuha mo pa na aside from particular service lang sa Amazon. So hopefully by next week I'm actually will soon launch na talaga next week. So nagkakaproblema lang talaga sa website to sa technicality. So if okay na siya, by the pag nag-start na yung course, then every week please expect you can expect na may updates tayo na i-cover sa webinar.
Yeah, so yung natin pwede niyong ibalikan yung sa YouTube channel yung last webinar. Tapos don't worry yung kung paano mag-start covered din dun sa course mismo, kaya kahit hindi natin siya i-tackle sa ating webinar, yung hindi tayo mag-go deeper into details, mas comprehensive yun nandun sa may course. So I'm sure masasagot yung questions nyo pag nag-start na tayo. So may any other concerns, issues, and questions pa ba?
You're welcome, Adi. Si Annabelle. Annabelle is typing.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, so Coach Jessa.
Okay, thank you. So, we'll just keep you posted dun sa group natin for updates. So, if you also have any questions in particular, you can directly send me a message naman.
Share mo pala yung pwede ba ako na lang mag-share?
Yeah, sure.
Share ko lang kasi natutuwa kami ni Coach Jessa dun sa dalawa nating classmates sa Amazon VA class. Kasi kung tama yung pagkakaintindi ko, nakakuha na sila ng clients, no?
Wow.
Yung isa parang pa lang, trial pa lang siya period, nasa trial period. Pero nakuha niya yung
least, diba?
Yung isa naman na-hire na talaga. Kasi tinatanong niya ako.
Nakakatuwa, hindi pa nag-start yung course, meron na silang jobs. So, so proud and happy lang na nakatulong yung mga tips ni Coach Jessa para yun nga, makonsider sila, mabigyan sila ng opportunities ng mga clients.
So everyone naman, like if you do have particular concerns or questions, like if you are planning to apply, actually you can naman. Then I'll be happy to guide naman then if you have anything that you'd like to ask related sa Amazon. So I can from where ka mag-start. If you really need that help, you can just DM me. Or if you want, you can also DM that you can direct message that one sa group chat na lang so everyone can have an idea then. So something like that. So wag mahiyang tanong.
Sabi nga sa advertisement,
right lang.
Pag mahihiyang magtanong kasi it's free and mabilis naman mag-reply ang ating mga coaches. So, yan, you can always reach out to them anytime. Lalo na ako. You can
Oh,
reach
by
out
the
to me
way,
Miss
anytime.
Maya is
yung
attached to her
oo.
phone.
Ano din pala, yung shinare ni Miss Rona, it helps in applying for a job then. Like how you sell yourself. Copywriting din parang strategy, it's a way to ano din, how you get client through selling yourself, your service, yung ganun ba?
Yes.
So it doesn't just limit to getting the job, providing services, but it also helps in getting clients then.
Okay, Coach Jessa.
Okay, I think yun lang ba? Wala na bang mga follow-up questions for Sir Mel or for Miss Rona? I think none so far. So if may mga tanong kayo, si Adi is typing. So if may tanong kayo regarding sa topic natin ngayon, we will be posting this one sa YouTube channel ng Stellar, then sa group din natin, and so sa page. So you can watch it anytime naman. And you can also tell your friends to watch it since it's the Facebook page is available for public viewing naman. So I guess
Sabi nga ng vloggers, feel
oo.
free to like, share, and subscribe.
Wow.
So I guess yun lang. I think so. Thank you to everyone for participating in this webinar, and to our guest speakers, Sir Mel and Miss Rona.
Thank you. Pinilit ko sila.
Thank you.
And so as Lara, thank you for sharing your experience then.
Oo, grabe. Ang dami nilang na-share. Nakakatuwa.
So I guess that would be all. Thank you. See you on the next webinar naman. So by the way,
we will have another sa susunod ulit. And I will post it to the sa group.
Okay. So if you have suggestions on what particular topic, you can also open that one. Open that up.
Yes.
So,
pag gumawa ako ng event ulit, ulit ako, crowdsourcing ulit ako sa group natin. And then para kung ano talaga yung gusto nilang topic, yun mismo yung tackle natin.
So, thank you and God bless. God bless din.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Mel. Thank you, Rona, for your time
You're
and the
welcome.
tips you've shared. And thank you all to the mentees na nag-join sa atin ngayon. And I'm looking forward to the day na masabi nyo na yun, you've been hired already. So, until then, mag-reach out na tayo, tulungan lang tayo para yun, ma-jumpstart natin ang inyong mga freelancing career.
Yes.